Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Last night I posted on my Instagram a quick photo of a couple of the items that I wore makeup wise going out last night and commented that I'd kind of built the look round this lipstick having watched a Eldreidge video. And one of my lovely subscribers on Instagram, Miss JLo, requested that I do a video. And I said, what about? And she said, well, talking about what you wore, why you wore it, what inspired you to wear it. So I thought that was an interesting idea for a quick video that didn't take much effort of preparing on my part. If you're not interested in hearing me just talk through a few old products, to be honest, and why I wore them yesterday, then now's the time to switch off. But otherwise, I hope some people might find this interesting. While we're on the topic of kind of feedback, thank you very much to those who contributed to my last video by the comments, the perfume journey one. There were some really lovely comments to that video talking about the perfumes that meant a lot to people, and it was really lovely for me to read them because quite a few of the fragrances mentioned I'd forgotten about, but I have fond memories about too, and it was really nice for people to share their personal stories about fragrance, so thank you for that. So, last night, there was nothing terribly thought out about my makeup, I should say. What happened was I had been looking at a video by Eldreidge, the British makeup artist who posts videos here on YouTube. She's, I think, far and away probably my favourite makeup artist who regularly posts videos. Whenever I watch one of her videos, first of all, I think how gorgeous she always looks, but also how relatable she is. She doesn't post too many videos, so you're not kind of bombarded by them, and although she plainly has professional connections with particular brands, at the moment it's Lancome, in the past it's been Chanel, she doesn't just feature those products, she features a very wide variety of products and suggests alternatives for different colourings and different skin types. And she also, although she does feature models on her makeup looks, she features a wide variety of ages in particular of interest to me, but also skin tones, races. I just never come away from having watched one of her videos without having learned something or seen something that I can adapt. So if you haven't watched her, and I'm quite sure most of you will have seen her, I really recommend her. I might link the one to her nude lipstick talk below, because that was what kind of sparked this off for me. And my favourite nude is this one. It's actually a MAC lipstick. It's a cream sheen called Pure Zen, and although this is one of the limited edition versions of it, the Marilyn Monroe collection from a few years back, I think it's, if not part of the permanent collection, it's frequently brought out, and I know it's around in some MAC concessions in the UK at the moment. I'm not sure if it's online. You can see I've actually used this quite a lot because I often don't make that much impression on lipsticks. And it's a very warm pink-toned nude, which I find is very flattering to me. It's coming off quite peachy there. So peachy pink. The formula of a cream sheen is very forgiving for me. It's not too slippery, but a little bit of a sheen. So when I'm looking for a My Lips But Better look in the nude spectrum, this is one I often reach for, and having been reminded of it by watching that video, I thought, well, I'll wear that tonight. I should say I was going out last night. That was why I was putting my makeup on. I was going out to the theatre, but it was a kind of, not a kind of night at the opera type theatre. It was quite a casual theatre in a shed with fold-up chairs and a lot of loud music and people swearing at each other, the actors that is, not the audience. So what I'm trying to say is it wasn't a kind of a posh night out, but nevertheless I wanted to look reasonably put together. The other thing that really influenced my look last night was the fact that I was wearing glasses, and that's fairly unusual for me when I'm going out. I'm a contact lens wearer, although I do now need reading glasses as well over the contact lenses a lot of the time. But my optician's very fussy about saying that I should have at least one day a week when I don't wear my contact lenses. That's usually at the weekend, but because I was working at home yesterday, it was a Friday, and so I was going out with my glasses, and that inevitably has an impact on a makeup look, an eye makeup look. I'm going to show you my glasses because they're not heavy framed glasses that are, covering any portion of the eye in the way. They're filthy glasses as well. Sorry about that. They're quite lightweight, not too conspicuous when on, but they're kind of silver framed or silver bound, as it were. So again, though I'm not usually that fussed about matching, warm toned makeup with gold and cool toned makeup with silver and white gold, when that's my jewellery. When I'm wearing the glasses, for some reason, I kind of like a more cool toned look around the eyes. So I decided on a whim that I would go with the silver, and dipping into the Chanel Illusion d'Ombre drawer, I picked out Mysterio, which I haven't worn a lot since I bought it earlier this year. It is one of the more dramatic Illusion d'Ombre in silver, and as you can see, it packs a fair old punch, although you can sheer it out. In fact, I found it packed too much of a punch when I put it on. Generally, when I wear the Illusion d'Ombre, I often just wear the Illusion d'Ombre and some liner and mascara, or I might use it as a base for shadow. I'd intended to just use this, but when I spread it over the socket, it did look too dramatic. And I realised I could either take it off, which I was too lazy to do at that stage and in a bit of a rush, or I could kind of tone it down a bit and give myself a bit of crease definition. And so I turned to this Tom Ford palette, Titanium Smoke. Now, I've got most of the Tom Ford palettes, in fact, and I would have to say this is one of the ones I use the least, although I've actually, looking at my Instagram, featured it a couple of times recently for various reasons. Now, the reason I always keep my little plasticky bits to protect the shadows a bit more. The reason I use this less than most is because I'm not a big smoky eye user, so black is very rarely used for me. I don't also line with powder. I usually just use pen or pencil, and I don't go over it with powder. Life's too short. I know it's supposed to make the finish better, but I hardly ever do. And this one's also got 2 glitters in it, and that's unusual for Tom Ford. There's usually just 1 glitter. This one, it's really pretty and quite subtle, but I just don't find I use it very often. This one, by contrast, is very dramatic, and if I was using a powder to line, it would be this one. And I do occasionally use it to smoke out a little. It's a really pretty and unusual shadow, but I just don't find myself turning to it a lot. But this was the one I was after. It's not quite a matte, it's got quite a lot of luster, but it worked very well just to tone down the majority of my lid, and with my hooded eyes I need to create a false crease to give a bit of perspective, and this was the one that I used yesterday. It's just a nice neutral smoky grey, but not too dramatic. So that was the eye look. I'd like to tell you that I wore liner and mascara. I didn't. I should say that when I'm wearing my glasses, I often don't wear mascara deliberately because I don't kind of like the magnified look showing up the fact that you've got something on your eyelashes. I've got quite long eyelashes anyway, so if I'm wearing glasses, I tend to go without, and I just didn't have time to do the lining. I'd used on, instead of foundation, the favourite Meteorites Baby Glow. I knew I wasn't going to be in killer lighting, so my skin was going to be quite kindly treated. I knew the lighting is quite dim in this particular theatre and bar, so I was able to get away with just a little bit of coverage from the Baby Glow, and even where I usually would use more concealer, I just used the Touche Éclat under my eyes. For blush, with a nude lip, I like a pinky blush, and I actually went for part of the matching set, which was this MAC one. I don't use it a lot, but you can see two very close matches, kind of designed to go together. So this was a Lazy Girls look last night. That one's called Legendary. I don't know if that was completely limited or was part of the general. I don't have any other MAC blushes, interestingly. This is the only one. I was already wearing on my nails Rose Cachet, an old one but a good one, in the pinky nudes, with a little bit of micro shimmer. Very, very pretty on the nails. I was wearing that last night, left over from the week. And I went with vintage Chanel. You can see this is a slightly rusty one that I got off eBay because it's quite an old one, and it's an eau de parfum, or maybe even a parfum, that I dotted on. And I was amazed at the dry down, so different from current Chanel, much more white flowery. Yeah, loved it. So that was how I put together my look last night, and why. It was really Lisa Eldreidge and glasses that influenced what I put on my face rather than anything else that I was wearing. So yeah, if you would like to see more of this sort of video, let me know. I don't know if there is any interest or not. But in any event, I will see you soon. Bye for now.